ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. है चश्माए हिदायत जिसको हो ये इनायत है चश्माए हिदायत जिसको हो ये इनायत ये है खुदा की बातें इनसे मिले विलायत. The third pioneer calligrapher I would like to mention is Yaqut al-Musta'simi. He was the master in 1298. He is a house slave of the last caliph of the Abbasi line in Baghdad, al-Musta'simi Billah, and he was Nuq as well, possibly of an Anatolian's origin. The caliph was so inspired from his work that he gave his surname to him. So in future, when people praise his work, should remember him as well. He wrote it said 364 mushafs and survived the sack of Baghdad by Halaku Khan in 1258 AD. He radically altered the method of Ibn Bawab and brought a new consistency, fluency, and elegance to the art. Yaqut's 7 students, the most famous among the many who study with him, took his versions of the 6 styles, made their own versions, and spread them over the central Islamic domains, making them the standard. He has left a multitude of authenticated works to study. He born in 13th century and was a slave in the home of al-Musta'simi Billah. And the caliph was so inspired by his work that he gave his surname that people would remember him when they remember Yaqut. He gave him his surname Musta'sim. So Yaqut Musta'simi became Yaqut Musta'simi in a sense that he got the caliph surname with him. It is said that he wrote about 364 copies of the Quran. He had 7 major students as well as several others, yet the 7 major students inspired by their master made in refined and 7 major scripts. He was a slave in the court of al-Musta'sim and went to become a calligrapher in a royal court. He spent most of his life in Baghdad. He studied with the female scholar and calligrapher Shoda bint al-Abari, who was herself a student in the direct line of Ibn Bawab as well. During the Mongol invasion of Baghdad in 1258 AD, he took refuge in the minarets of the mosque so he could finish his calligraphic practice. While the city was being ransacked, his career, however, flourished under Mongols' patronage as well. He refined and codified 6 basic calligraphic styles of the Arabic scripts. Nas script was said to have been revealed and taught to the scripts in the vision. He improved on Ibn Mukla's styles by replacing the straight cut reed pen with the oblique cut, which results in a more elegant scripts. He developed Yaquti, a handwritten named after him, described a sulus of a particularly elegant and beautiful type. He taught many students, both Arab and non-Arabs. His most celebrated student is Ahmad bin al-Shahwardi and Yahya al-Sufi. He became a much celebrated calligrapher across the Arab-speaking world. His school became the most model followed by Persians and Ottoman calligrapher for centuries. He was the last of the great medieval calligraphers. This is the most interesting thing which I would like to show you over here for your practice, to be honest. That sometime these dots which you create, they make beauty as well. And this is Khat Diwani, and under the Khat Diwani, these small dots make the beauty of this script. This script actually established about 600 years ago in Turkey, and it is actually show it's a quote script, and it's show the elegancy of this calligraphy as well. So I will show you some of the dots which I'm putting over here, and this will be your practice piece. I will send you some PDF on that as well, and you will create your own work creating these dots on Khat Diwani for your practice. It creates so elegancy within the work as well. Doesn't matter wherever you're putting it, whatever the size is, that create more beauty as well. And create these Allahu ala raziko, and you can see with the same pen I create these round dots as well. And you can see some of the things.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Today we are going to write Ismul Jalala, which means name of Allah the Almighty. So first of all, to start with, we will have a guideline, and you can see here from here guideline. Okay. Now we know that Alif is 7 nukta or 7 qat or 7 dots. So first of all, we place dots. You see, this is the upper corner of this column. It will be like this, and as we go the lower part to the line, we will stop. Because this is 35 cut, so that will be a bit longer than the real cut. For example, this is the cut and it will be a bit longer. If it is a 45 angle, then it is nearly similar to that. So 7 cut, we will continue. Remember this one and the same, just for the teaching purpose. So like that, and there is no need to, not making any emptiness or distance. We can make, this is just a guide. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 and one more, and here will be 7. So that is our baseline. So baseline, just for, so that will be nearly a baseline. Okay, now alif of 7 qat, I will write down with so I'm starting from here, this, and going down. So that's basically alif. And now the hilya or taj, hilyatul alif or zinatul alif or tajul alif, crown. So in this case, little bit up like this and going down, and with the upper it will be like this. It could be like this. So otherwise, this is like this, and then here, and little this hilya, but this paper is absorbing the ink. So anyway, otherwise this, and then up to here, and if you put and then you can make anyway some and then now because there are 3 vertical lines of the word lam, Allah, excluding alif, so that will be started from 4.5. So 1 2 3 4, and here 4.5. So I will start from here, and as I go down, you see there will be this is half nukta and quarter nukta is this. So my line should be, you know, I will be making a bend on this point here up to here. So I'll be getting down. And from here, and on 2 dots here, that will be 1 nukta and 1.5 you here, and this will be 1 qat. So, and this will be you know, that baseline 4.5. So I will be going up and this one a little further because it will go up to here, you know, 4.5 the line 1 and line 2, and line 1 also have hilia as well, so smaller, and proportionally because this is 7 qat, the hilia will be a bit longer, but this will be a bit shorter because the line size is only 4.5 something. And from here then again there will be 2 qat. So on 2, as this is the measurement inside, so 1 and 2, and from here I will take the, and it will, you see this line, this is bit further, you know, that point. And here, as this is 1.5, here it will be 1.50, 1.5, and the baseline will be exactly 4. So, you know, if this is going up, a bit down, so you can see that here up to here. And from here going down this, and as we have 1.5, so here 1.25, so same will be here 1 and 2, and that will be up to 3 qat. You know, this is 4.5 or 5, this is 4, and this is over 3, so up to here. And if the paper is good, then I can make more nice, because here but anyway, with the practice it will go further. And this is about 1 half dot. So this is, and this is should be 1 nukta, and inside I told you this is the size. So now if we take this measurement up to straight like that, it will be like that. So this is here 1 nukta, this is 1, and this is 2 approximately, you know. So these are the equal, then one dot, one nukta down, and further one down, and this is the measurement. Now, with more practice, it will be more refined. Now the time for a tashdid, that will be, similar to this 1, 2, 3 line. If we exclude alif and this ha, tashdid is very similar to that. So in this case, and on top, and vertical fatha. And this one, fatha big. And because this is a ha, we can make a ha like this, like this, and with some decorative. Or this, this, this. So this is Allah, Allah Jalla Jalaluhu. So the measurement 7 alif, and then 4.5 up to 5, 5 again here, and then 4 and 3, and B.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Today we're going to be covering the letter Kaf. So the letter Kaf, I'm going to do it from this book. Now this book is the Murakkab of Shawki Effendi, who's one of the pioneer calligraphers of the Ottoman era. And he created a form of learning material in which all the different letters can be put together of the Thuluth script and the Mufradat, so the letter connections as well are put together. So today we'll be doing the Kaf. So with the Kaf, there's two ways you can write it. One way is the singular, when the letter is on its own. So we start with a little dip, and we thin out our letter. Then what we do is we go straight across the page. I stopped at that moment because now look that I've gone slightly up, inclined slightly up, and now I bring it down. When I bring it down, I start slightly from where I was before, and I bring it forward. Wherever I stop, look at the angle that I'm writing at. It's slightly changing. Now, when it comes to this point, I'm going to curve my column. And make it at an angle. And fix it with the top of my pen. Now the proportions for this are as follows. You have around 1 nukta to 1.5 nuktas over here. The place where it comes out is around 2 nuktas. The top part is around 2 nuqtas from the central body of the letter. Then we have 2 nuqtas over here. And then if we take a straight line from here, again we have 2 nuqtas. And from the khat-e kursi, so the line, there's a slight inclination. These small circles that I make, normally in the Ottoman tradition, they are for showing where your pen is curving. There's no straight area. As you can see, the pen is curving in this direction. So if I kind of make a visual representation without actually writing the letter, this is the movement of your qalam. You go down like this. You do not go straight over here. You slightly curve it like this. You flatten out, then you go up and then bring it down. Then you come straight down for a large amount of the letter, around nearly 3/4, and then you start bringing it up till you reach the point. That is how you will write the letter. Now, if we have kaf again on its own, there's another way you can write the individual letter, and that is using the alif. Now, the alif that you have written previously many times, just like your normal alif. You draw the head of the alif, and I'll do it. The head of the alif. Now, if you remember your ba, you brought it down and then slightly up. We'll do a similar movement, not the same, but a very similar movement for the kaf. Brought it down. I'll start bringing it up. Now from the line, it is only 1 dot away. But the general depth of the letter is 5 dots. From the bottom of your alif to the general body of your shape is 1 dot. And then you have the general proportions of your alif that everyone will be familiar with, whoever's done the practice. Now, with the kaf on a singular, despite the letter lam being a different shape, we still distinguish the letter using this. The kaf. Now this you write with the same pen, and generally it's around 2 dots. But you do not need to worry that much about the proportion of that. The general shape is very important. Now the kaf, when it's in the middle of a letter, you tend to write it in a different way. This kaf is for when it's on its own, when the letter is on its own. This kaf is again when it's on its own, or you can put this at the end of a word. And then now the kaf that I will draw is when it's in the middle of a letter. So let's say we have a connection, which I'll do now. Just let's say it's a ba connection. This is your connection. You bring it up, you bring it down, and you go up. That is your kaf. Then you go down and you bring it out slightly. And then you connect it to whatever letter you need to write. Then the top part, bring it out. At a almost 30-degree slant. And bring it down like that. From the line, it is around 2 dots. And further on is just like the shape of a triangle. A right angle triangle. Your general point should come in between 3 to 4 dots down from the general shape, so we can almost see that it's around 3 to 4 dots down the shape. Over here you should have a 1.5, the connection that you have. Let's say this was a ba or a ta, there would be a 1.5 dot connection. And if you leave a space like this, it should be 3 to 3.5 dots. And on the line, you can see that it rests on the line perfectly with a 1 dot shape when the kaf is being separated from the original word. So this is your kaf combinations, wherever you want to write it. We have obviously the individual letters as well as the joint conjugating letters as well. And then as you can see that these kafs, all of them are different, they have their own beauty. So it'd be great that if you could practice all of these combinations, and from there you can go on. Jazakallah.